Greetings from Inside Design. We are really glad to have you here. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule. It really means a lot for us. And first of all, let's talk about the overview of the interview. We will be having a general round where we will be talking about your journey, experiences, and learnings. And then we have a technical round where we will be talking about the iAudit software in particular. Then we have a fun, witty, rapid fire round, and then we will conclude the episode. So, with all your due permission, shall we start the interview?
Yeah,
Okay. So first of all, we would all want to know your feelings कि आप लोगों को कैसा लग रहा है एक revolutionary बन के एक internal audit की industry में.
Well, the experience is of course amazing, and frankly, we never thought when we started this journey that इतना जल्दी हम लोग इतना impact कर पाएंगे and लोगों के दिलों को छू पाएंगे इतना जल्दी. That we became a talk of town very soon. So we feel very fortunate and very blessed in that sense.
Okay. एंड आप लोग काफी अपनी अपनी आप लोगों की जर्नी है काफी डाइवर्स फील्ड से भी हैं जैसे स्मिथ सर इज एन IITN is and is from Flipkart, Palak sir is from ITC and Mansi ma'am is from EY. So we would be all be really glad अगर आप अपनी जर्नी शेयर कर पाएं. Starting with Mansi ma'am.
So, hi, I'm CA Mansi, and I'm basically from Udaipur. I did my CA from Bombay, and post qualification, I worked with EY and Deloitte for 5 years in the risk advisory practice. It has been an amazing journey for me, and after that, I joined Infinitics. The three of us started this company together, and over here, I handle the team of chartered accountants and data analytics, and I lead the entire functional part out here. Over to you, Palak.
Yeah, so basically I'm Palak Vasa, founder and CEO. And basically post-clearing CA, I worked with ITC for 5 years. For the first 3.5 years, I worked as part of their corporate audit function, where I happened to audit numerous businesses of ITC, right from tobacco, FMCG, hotels, paper, agri, and infotech. And that's where an idea generation happened, where we realized that an ITC like a conglomerate, in spite of having huge importance on audit, we used to do a lot of activity or a lot of audit was done manually. So that's where idea generation happened, and we also happened to discuss with a lot of our peers in other MNC companies operating out of India, right from Amazon, Flipkart, HUL, Marico, Asian Paints. We talked to our colleagues over there. We understood how audit process is being done, and that's where then we and of course Mansi brought in a lot of experience from the consulting industry. And that's where we started this journey. So Mansi and Smith. So Mansi and me both were together in our CA journey, and Smith and myself were together in school here in Rajkot. So yeah, over to Smith. Over to you, Smith.
yeah. I'm Smith. I'm co-founder and CTO for Infinitics. So a brief about myself. Me and Palak, we were both schoolmates here in Rajkot. Then we got on different paths after 10th standard, and I went to Kota, and then from there IT Roorkee. From there I went to Bangalore, Flipkart, my first company. And I have been with Flipkart approx 4 years. Contributed there as a senior software developer, and then finally Palak got in touch during lockdown period, somewhere around April, May, and they had Palak and Mansi. They had been working on this, solutioning this gap of internal auditing, right, where they realized that uh, uh, there is a lot of improvement that can be done in this process, where all of the things are happening manually, but there can be some kind of technology innovation, because a lot of other areas are improving. They're using the latest in technology and solving in a much better fashion. So why not audit? And I think they didn't give up on their idea. They tried a lot of times, and finally when Palak got in touch, we clicked, and then we started working on this prototype, baby steps, one by one. We started with a few beta clients, everything, and then it finally happened. We got registered in August, and then we started the company.
Wow, such an inspiring journey, and I guess this is so wonderful to see that science and commerce coming together, and whenever they come together, this type of revolution is in front of us. And so, moving forward with the interview, talking about the entrepreneurship journey, also काफी सारे challenges हम लोगों को face करने पड़ते. There are many difficulties, and you all have must have gone through these, and you have successfully overcome them. So we would all be really glad to know अगर आप बता पाएं कि क्या क्या challenges आपको face करने पड़े थे, and आपने उनको overcome कैसे किया अपनी पूरी entrepreneurial journey में, starting with Smith sir.
Okay. Yeah. So we're still on that journey. Long way to go. Still very small start, and very blessed and honored to get such a response from the community and everybody around. Very blessed to have such teammates, such founders as teammates, and the rest of our team as well. So we're really glad to have found that talent and to execute on the ground. One more thing, really glad to have such. I would say we are lucky in a lot of sense, in a lot of areas. Finding the right beta clients, getting into the right places at the right time, due to the right kind of connect. So yeah, all of these things help. But yeah, I think challenges. So yes, there are going to be a lot of peculiar challenges, different to everybody, different to every idea, different to each and every person. Amongst the three of us, there are different kind of challenges. So personally speaking, coming from a tech background, settled in Bangalore, 4 years into my journey as a techie, it's we kind of get into a comfort zone, by working with such great tech companies and with such great talent around, learning a lot and improving ourselves. But I had that notion somewhere back in college and previously as well, where I always wanted to work on something where I can build from the scratch, not just get in somewhere and have a half kind of contribution. Wanted always in Flipkart as well. I was always more interested into tech. तो कर लिया चलो ठीक है, but like what about the business? How everything is fitting together, how all of the pieces are coming together. That always used to interest me. And when Palak got in touch, again something new came my way, and I thought, okay, good, this is kind of a good opportunity, and we can give it a shot, right? So I felt confident that way. Challenges like quitting the job, that's one of the biggest challenges. But I think Palak will be able to tell you briefly further, right? We made some kind of milestones, and then once we cleared those milestones, we decided, okay, now is the time to take the jump. Apart from that, other entrepreneurial challenges like support from the family, getting that initial product onto the market, or not onto the market as such, but get it up and running, get some client convincing, a lot of all of these stuff. But I think, as I said before, we have been lucky in a couple of these very critical matters. Family support has been great for all three of us, really great, great support from all of our parents and family. And I think we come from this Gujju family business background, so all the parents are really supportive, going with some kind of business strategy, and taking risks basically. So yeah, kind of these kind of challenges. But I think Palak would be able to describe a little more on the challenges, because they have come across this idea and actually nurtured this through kind of 1 or 2 years before me. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I think so. As Smith said, we had decided on those milestones that on our journey, we said that okay, at every step of it, we have to achieve these milestones, and then we'll think of the next milestone. So the first and the primemost milestone that we had decided was basically two milestones that we had before we all put our papers in our respective companies. One was getting the right team, so the right founding team. So, and was very lucky to have both Smith and Mansi to be on board, because me and Mansi did tried a lot of time in past. We tried 6 times. This was our 7th time, and probably I think this time we felt it. Now it has clicked. But so Smith was basically, so he brought in a lot of tech background. So so first thing was to have that team on board. That was the first challenge, that first milestone that we had in our minds. Second milestone that we had in our mind is that the idea that we have, it should be tested by someone, it should be approved by someone, and the only way to be approved, is when a customer actually buys your tool. So we were very lucky, to one of the very prime most company in Gujarat and probably across our India. They got onto us as a beta customer for us, and that actually gave us a lot of confidence. And then we started on this journey. So the initial my challenges before to start the startup was basically these two, to have the team in place and to have a beta customer. That was the initial challenge. Once we started on this journey, then the challenges again changed. Then the challenges were to get another set of team to be in there, because we three can only do limited stuff. So then we started hiring, and in a startup, what happens that no one wants to join you. Who believes in a company? Well, three guys left their jobs and like हाँ यार मतलब कैसे भरोसा दे उनको. So initially the way we used to sell our ideas to companies, similarly we used to sell ideas to people who was working for who were pitching, and then we used to sell them like ये अच्छी company है आप आके join करो, even though of course we were paying salaries to them, but in spite of that we had to convince them. So that was another challenge, that was third challenge basically when we started on our journey in the startup. Then it was also about building a culture. See क्या होता है कि when teams come on board, okay, you want to get the best out of them, because naturally that in a startup we don't have a luxury to pay lakhs of rupees at the onset. We can't pay somewhat salary that we received back then when we were in ITC, or Mansi was in Deloitte and EY and Smith was in Flipkart. We cannot afford to pay that much of salary. So whatever that we are paying, we still have to get the maximum out of these guys. So so what we did is we tried to build in that culture in the organization. So that was the second thing, second challenge that we took up post startup, to build that right set of environment and culture. Third set of challenge that that we took up was basically ensuring that at right stages, we are participating in competitions. So first thing that we did was we applied to Gujarat government grant, and we were very fortunate. Frankly, the startup cell of government of Gujarat is very proactive. It's very open to startups. A special thanks to Joint Secretary B.R. Parmar over there, then Sanjana Iyer and Janki Doshi. So these were actually, they really helped us out in that. Then they guided us to respective institutes where we got incubated ourselves. So then we got incubated to GTU, and Brinda Pandey ma'am was there. So she helped us very well throughout our journey, to get us recognized in startup cell, to recognize us as a Gujarat government. So that was our third challenge, that we took up, was basically participate in competitions, participate in these recognition, in these government recognition programs. So that we took, we were very lucky that we recently got approved by government of Gujarat. They are infusing 20 lakhs of grant, and we also participated in one of the competitions of Lemon Ideas, where we got shortlisted as top 10 startups across South Asia. So that was our third basically challenge. Fourth challenge, which I would say that we are still continuing on, is raising funds. So this is a journey for every startup, So we have to keep working hard on that, in the sense that and believe me, we have an amazing experience. We have talked right from angels to HNIs, to angel networks, to early VC firms, to VC firms. So we have got a whole lot of experience, interacting with so many people, and it has been an amazing experience in that sense. So
I think Palak, if you start counting challenges, I think we won't be able to add as many serial numbers. And kind of one of the biggest challenges was all of this is happening during COVID. So that was like an additional buffer of challenges, bringing in people, bringing in talent here. So we are providing as much best possible resources here, for kind of providing accommodation and vehicles for our guys, providing safe environments for our employees. So yeah, all of these kind of small challenges every day we go out, we have some new set of challenges. That's the story.
Really amazing and inspiring to hear this. And this tells us the importance of two things. First is never stop trying. Like Palak sir said, that even after failing 6 times, you guys didn't stop. And we are witnessing a miracle here. And the second thing is the importance of team and leadership, which I guess you are epitome of the best leaders out there. Moving forward, one specific question to Mansi ma'am. Ma'am, in 21st century, entrepreneurship is considered to be the greatest tool for growth of the country. So, what message you would want to give to fellow women entrepreneurs out there who want to become an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur?
Have actually the three things that everybody, not just women, but everybody should focus on. And times have changed. Like women have got. There are set of challenges that women face. I'm not denying that, and even I have faced those in my times. But definitely, people have become more accepting, irrespective of your gender. So when I speak, people hear me as well, irrespective of what gender I come from, or as far as I'm speaking content. So that is the most important thing. And you should work on developing content, gain as much knowledge as you can, focus on one specific thing that interests you and that you feel you are good at, and go at it. I mean, everything is possible. So just be determined to what you really want to do, identify that thing, and work hard, work passionately.
Amazing, ma'am. This will enlighten a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs out there. And this marks the end of our general round. With all your permission, shall we move towards the technical round? Okay. So we all know that आई ऑडिट जो सॉफ्टवेयर है वो पर्टिकुलरली इंटरनल ऑडिट इंडस्ट्री की तरफ थोड़ा ज्यादा इंक्लाइंड है. तो वी वुड ऑल बी रियली ग्लैड अगर आप लोग हमारी ऑडियंस को डिफरेंस समझा पाए इंटरनल ऑडिट और स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट में. इंटरनल ऑडिट में बेसिकली होता क्या है?
So, statutory audit, or external audit, as many people call it, is basically auditing of financial statements of the corporate entity. So, basically, they give a view on whether financial statements are true and fair. Internal audit, on the other hand, it evaluates risk that the business face, and they test whether there are effective controls in place and whether they are working effectively to mitigate those risks in an effective manner, so that the organizations can achieve its various objectives. A stat audit or external audit is necessarily has to be conducted by external party, which is CA firms. Whereas internal audit can be done by anyone. You can hire a consulting agency, you can hire a CA firm, or you can even do it internally by the in-house internal audit team. So that is the broad difference between the two. And then statutory audit is applicable. The applicability of it is defined by Companies Act. So that there is some bifurcation over there. And internal audit, I would say the scope of internal audit is very vast. As we like to say that you can audit everything under the sun under internal audit. So right from the entry of a person in the organization to financial statements to procurement, production, everything can be audited. So what management knows, an internal auditor knows. That's the basic difference between the two.
Okay. Moving forward, what is the target audience of this particular software? Like, कौन से ग्रुप को ये सॉफ्टवेयर हेल्प ज्यादा करेगा as of now, initial stages?
So हम लोग का टारगेट बेसिकली दोनों है, एंटरप्राइजेस भी है एंड सीए प्रोफेशनल्स भी है. So enterprises, where they want to, there are companies जिनके पास सेंट्रल ऑडिट टीम्स होती हैं, in-house ऑडिट टीम्स होती है, तो उनके लिए भी ये beneficial है because they have a huge team and they can actually work using this tool. They can actually efficiently complete the audits on time. Second, it is also applicable to companies जो actually tipping point पे हैं, जो अभी शायद ऑडिटिंग बाहर से करवा रहे हैं लेकिन they want to do auditing in-house also. So this tool is applicable for those companies also. So basically enterprise is something that we're targeting directly companies. So that is one set of our target market. Second set of target market that we have is basically CA professionals. So CA professionals basically जो भी auditing firms है who are providing auditing services to the clients, तो उनके लिए भी ये software available so that they can provide better services and they can उनके limited time में and with limited cost they can finish their assignments. So it's meant for both.
Okay. And one very specific question to Smith sir, ये काफी ज्यादा पूछा गया है, मैं काफी ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड हूँ इसको जानने के लिए कि कितना इंटरेस्टिंग था एक ऐसा सॉफ्टवेयर बनाना जो ऑडिट के ऊपर बेस्ड हो एंड सीए प्रोफेशनल के साथ काम करना.
So yeah, I think good question. Yeah, a lot of people ask, as in couple of conversations that I've come across earlier, I have come across these kind of questions. So see, basically, as I explained earlier, see, this is kind of something personal to me. I have been, open and a little more interested into the business side of things, how things actually work and fit together. Kind of more, I would say, I am more kind of a problem solver guy. When I introduced with Palak, and we had to make a brief of ourselves, to brief towards what can define me, I'll say I'm kind of a problem solver. So see, Palak articulated the problem very well. When we interacted a couple of sessions in April, May, we brainstormed. Okay, this is kind of problem. This is the industry. This is the gap that we are trying to solve, and this is the difficulties that we are trying to face. The amount of tries that they did before, they have faced each and every different kind of challenges. Somewhere it was tech, somewhere it was not the right solution, or some or the other kind of problem. So uh, I am kind of open-minded to any such sort of problems. In Flipkart also, I was working, I had a little bit experience of audit, but not as an auditor, mostly as an auditee. Flipkart's auditing partner is KPMG, and a lot of auditors from KPMG got in touch for different kind of data requirements or process understanding, or such sort. So I was kind of aware of audit. One more thing that helped me was, I was working with the financial engineering team in Flipkart, which is named as Wall Street there. So that basically manages all the transactions and all the financial accounts management inside Flipkart. So that is the technology team that I was with in Flipkart. So I was close to finance, accounting, all of such domain and terms, but not auditing very much per se. So it wasn't that difficult. One of the slides, in fact, that Palak showed me before, right? Okay, these are the different kind of processes, like there's PO, GR, IR, and we need to audit these kind of processes. So I was very quickly able to relate to that, because I came across something similar in my Flipkart experience, where I was, working on a product where with something related to inventory management in Flipkart. So yeah, I think a little bit of my personal experience in Flipkart, and a little bit of my problem solving nature, that both of these gelled together, and where I was able to pick up on this. And the second thing is the tech part. So tech is always interesting. Depending on the problem and how deep is the problem, what can be the actual solution. It's more like diagnosis and then giving a prescription for it. So understanding the problem really well, that was one thing. Then I think tech follows. Tech, मतलब हर चीज का कहीं ना कहीं we can figure out a solution, but we have to figure out the right fit. Okay, what is the exact problem and what can be immediately applied to fix it. Then धीरे धीरे we start with something small, something very tangible. We worked with the two beta clients that we worked with. We tried to prove how the idea that was in our heads actually works on ground. Does it actually deliver the kind of output that we're thinking? Does it actually deliver that kind of benefits, right? And it did. It actually did, and we were very happy with the responses that we got from the customers and the community in general. So yeah, and then dire we came across, okay, now this problem is not a very small problem. It's much wider than we initially thought. A lot of companies, everything, everywhere, processes can be improved, and this similar solution can be now grown upon, and it can solve for a much bigger market. So yeah, that's kind of where I came in, and I was able to contribute.
Really an interesting answer, sir. And now moving forward, पलक सर एंड मास्टर सर, काफी सारे ऐसे कंप्लायंसेस होते हैं ऑडिटिंग में जो हमें और करने पड़ते हैं, एंड द मेन प्रॉब्लम इज कि काफी सारे नई चीजें सो आपकी जो आई ऑडिट है वो इन सब चीजों से कैसे कोप अप करता है?
So that's a very good question and a very relevant one. And this question has been asked to us by many of our clients. So being chartered accountants, we have to be abreast of what is happening, what are the regulatory changes that are going on. So we have one module in corporate sector, which is related to tax and compliances. And again, in banking sector, we have ensured with compliances with respect to RBI direction, circulars, and notifications. Now, on all these taxes, be it GST or income tax or RBI compliances, what happens is that they issue at least 70 to 100 notifications in a year. So we have a chartered accountants team who keep track of those changes and update the logic. Then we pass on to our tech team who then codes it and pushes the code to the client. So that's how we ensure that the iAudit is compliant to the regulatory changes.
Fantastic. Means the all compliances procedure is completed. And ma'am, in today's time, what we are hearing is data security and confidentiality is the top priority of every firm. So how iAudit ensures that the data is protected and it is not going into someone's hand or competitor's hand?
Yeah, so in that sense, what we do that key, we have a very strict policy on that. There are two ways we take a very, what do you say, two things that we ensure about it. One is that internally also when we are dealing with clients' data, we have our own servers. We have kept own DLP licenses, so that none of the data that we hold of our clients, will leak out. And if it leaks out, of course we would know about it. So that is one thing that we ensure, just internally what we do. Second is that when we deploy our application, that is another thing, is that we generally deploy applications on premise, on their premise. So what happens is that naturally the controls, the security controls that the company has put in place for their other data sets, same controls will be applicable for our data set also. So the deployment could be on premise deployment, it could be on private cloud, or it could be on public cloud also. So in case of public cloud, we try to ensure that we try to take in some certificates so that it ensures that the data is secured, because data confidentiality is the topmost priority and nowadays for any company, including us.
Perfect. So, what is we all want to know about is one more interesting aspect. If any of you could briefly tell what process does this software follows, by which 3 months work can be done in a day or less than a day, starting with Smith sir.
Right. So I think 3 months to 30 seconds is kind of talk of the town. uh, yeah, so I'll try to give as best possible brief about how this actually works, right? So I think from auditing experience that Palak and Mansi have come across in their careers, what generally happens is auditors they first need to figure out, okay, what is the audit program, as in what are they trying to do during this kind of audit. So it's not like it's all encompassed audit is happening every day. There's some set of specific auditing that happens. In this quarter we are going to focus on this part of the audit. In another quarter we focus on different part of audit. They first make an audit program, then they try to understand the tech systems where they're going to get the data from. They try to collaborate with the operations team, to get the offline data or some relevant data. So a lot of these physical activities, manual activities happen during audit. Apart from this, the current tools and techniques which are available, Excel sheets or some IDACL tools in the market, they allow, auditing on sample basis. Like they figure out the best possible sample, all the recent samples, whatever the technique that they follow, and then they try to find some issues in that. And all of this whole process, they roughly takes about 3 months, where they figure out issues, then they track it with the management, they solve it, all of these. So what we have done is, we want to follow this focused approach where we standardize all of this in our tool, right from data extraction to actually finding the audit issues through analytics in our software, and then throwing out the relevant issues which are the highest priority for management, highlighting risk wise, high, medium, low, very crisp user interface where there is not a lot of complication. It's very easy to use and directly see. Somebody can directly come into the application, log in, directly start looking at the issues and then working on the solution of it. Okay, there is some variation in our procurements, or there is some loss in our inventory aging, or whatever the issues kind of be. So that's how we came down to this, a 30-second promise, right? That we can reduce this audit issue analytics to a very small time period, so that now the auditor can actually focus on their expertise. CAs have worked so hard and they have tried so hard, understanding the business in the 5 years of preparations that they did and the industry experience that they have. So running behind data, understanding, cleaning up, all of this works is not, should not be done manually by a person. That let the software do it. You guys should focus on the business, actually figuring out issues, and actually telling the company and assuring the company everything is good, and if something is not good, figuring that out and why it is not good. So that's how we push down all of these time period, all of these manual activities right down to the software. Our software integrates with all of the ERPs. We are working on more and more integrations, SAP, Microsoft Dynamics, all the ERPs out there. Then we are trying to build more and more logics into the system so that it can handle a variety of clients. Right now, we are doing something for manufacturing clients. We are doing something for banking clients. We are expanding our range by each and every day. So this is kind of where 3 months to 30 seconds comes from.
Wow, quite an interesting process, and I must say I feel very lucky to know it firsthand. And moving forward, so Mansi ma'am, what is another talk of the town is कि इस सॉफ्टवेयर की इंडस्ट्री में आने के बाद चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स की जो जॉब है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज है इंडस्ट्री में, इंटरनल ऑडिट में, वो कम हो जाएंगी. तो ये कितना सच है और कितना गलत है, इस पे आपके क्या इंसाइट्स हैं?
Actually, a lot of people have asked me this question, and a lot of people who are pursuing CA have texted me कि अभी करना है कि नहीं आगे. And it's very funny that people are asking me this question. But please continue with your courses. CA का job कभी खत्म नहीं होने वाला है. With this tool,
Indeed.
life is going to be simpler. It's not going to be, ऐसा नहीं है कि there will be no jobs because the tool is doing audit. No, the CAs are required to analyze the anomalies thrown out by the system. So it's just that work is going to increase. The reason is that because there are a lot of areas which were out of the auditor's purview before this, because of shortage of time or knowledge constraints, time constraints. But because of this, there will be a lot more areas to audit. So scope is going to increase. Please pursue CA.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'd like to add to this. It's like that's what I mentioned before. A lot of manual work, the other kind of work, cleanup and everything is going to go away, and the core practice is going to be strong again. Where CAs can actually contribute, understanding the business and assuring the company. So that is now going to be much more concentrated, and it's going to require more efforts to find issues and actually RCA them, root cause analyze them.
perfect. So this provides a lot of clarity out there. And moving towards the last question of our technical round. So what plans you are having for this and how big you want to make it? Starting with Palak.
Well,
I think our chief strategist is going to answer that.
see, our vision, frankly, is that if you look at auditors at this point of time, what tools that they use is largely MS Excel, for the auditing purposes. So we want to, our vision is, that every auditor uses iAudit as a tool, to provide auditing services. So that's definitely what our vision is. So if you look at any auditor, not just in India but across the world, then if they can use one tool, so that should be this tool. That's our vision. And we are very determined, to achieve this. There are a lot of challenges in between, because you have to really make it a scalable product. You have to ensure that this tool becomes kind of a plug and play sort of a software. So a lot of our efforts internally at this point of time is going towards that, ensuring that to happen. In between, a few things that we have to ensure it gets closed is definitely one, get key investment partner. That happens through funding. So every startup has to have that on board, and we are in the process of doing that. That's one. Second, of course, is to make key collaborations with industry leaders. It would be with big four companies. It would be with all the chartered accountancy firms. Our seniors from ICAI. So that would be another challenge that we'll have, is basically ensuring key collaborations happen with all these right set of people. And third thing is, of course, to get senior management on board, because we have few experiences ourselves, but I'm sure that there are a lot of other people who would have much more better experiences than us. So get those guys on board, and leverage their learnings. So that would be our vision. To simply put, every auditor should be using iAudit tool.
And this formally marks the end of our interview, and towards the conclusion part of the interview, we would like to know any success mantra, advice, or enlightenment for the CA student as well as the engineering part of students, or students in general, if I would quote it. Starting with Smith, sir.
No particular success mantra in general. There's no specific recipe to it that you can just blindly follow and get to the end. In fact, there is no end. This is kind of a journey that you are on. Mainly, I see entrepreneurship, or mostly, getting into such thing is like hyper speed learning. You are always on the edge. You keep learning new things. You chew more than you bite off, and while you're chewing, you figure out, okay, how do I get ready for the next bite? So it's kind of like that. There's no end to it. There's no, okay, this is, once you stop, once you achieve, you stop. There's no end. It kind of gets addicting. More and more you get into the game. So advice for students definitely is, at the onset, I think you should try out things. Professionally, or in life in general, it's like a buffet. There is a lot of options which cater to different kind of talents, different kind of, somebody can be creative, somebody can be really good at logic, or whatever it be. So try out different things. Find that good thing which clicks, where you're automatically motivated. Nobody needs to push you to continuously do that. And once you find that, double down on that. Put all your eggs in that basket. And yeah, I think that's it. And definitely there is no alternative to working hard. Even if you're probably the smartest person in the room, but eventually a hardworking person, a methodical person will always overtake. Will always overtake.
Indeed.
So being at some stage, and being comfortable about that is never going to be enough, because in when you go forward in time, somebody who is accelerating is always going to overtake you. So don't get comfortable. Keep finding new things, and I think this is the time for. I think this is one of the best times to be alive, with so much technology floating around. You don't even need a specific kind of restricted education. Okay, I'm doing some CA, or I'm learning computer science, I'm learning civil engineering, and I need to be restricted to that. There's so much learning available free on the internet, or almost free on the internet, and you can learn any skill, you can try anything, and contribute back to the society. I think that's one of the very good motivators that I keep reminding myself कि हम मतलब to this life and to earth we are kind of guests, right? हम तो यहाँ पे 100 साल के मेहमान हैं. So let's contribute back to the society.
Perfect. Mansi ma'am?
For CA students, I just want to say that, there's so many things happening around us that we sometimes tend to get a bit overwhelmed. In CA, there are 8 subjects, and then in actual practice also, there's so many things, statutory audit, tax, whatever. So during your articleship, try and figure out what interests you the most. So during my articleship, I figured out that I'm not interested in tax, I'm not interested in statutory audit, but internal audit is something that I love, and I pursued my career in it. I started my company around it. So use that 3 years to identify your niche, like what interests you the most, what you're really good at, and hone your skills in that directions. Second point is that be tech savvy. Like identify what tools are available in your respective domain, like SAP, Tally, Genius software, etc. And try and master those in the sense that how you can use it to the best of the work you are doing and can make your life simpler. And third is learn analytics. See, I'm not telling you to learn programming. There are a lot of analytical tools available out there. So start with Microsoft Excel. You can do a lot in Excel, trust me. Like even today, I'm learning Excel. And in case you're dealing with bigger data sets, then learn Alteryx or Power BI or other user-friendly tools available instead of coding. And leave that to the experts, the engineers who are good at, and concentrate on what you are good at, which is the domain expertise. That's my advice to the CA students. Over to you, Palak.
Yeah, I would like to give you a blend of CA and engineering students. What probably they can think is more and more the roles are becoming more techno functional, in the sense that if engineering guys are there, do not restrict yourself to only engineering set of a mindset. Think on how to implement business functions, or how business actually functions. And likewise, the CA students don't have that mentality of only thinking from the business perspective. Also have tried to adopt bit of technology, but again be mindful that you be master of what you are doing. Don't start learning programming to CA students, and don't start learning accountancy to engineering students. Don't forget your roots. Double down on your strengths. That is what is required, but be mindful of the other side of the story also. And largely to students, or to people who want to start a startup, I have we will have some few things for them also. First thing is, again, learn the skill of summarizing. Try to, if you need only 2 words to speak a sentence, or if you were to communicate something, just use 2 words. Don't use third word if not required, because that will throw people off. That will throw customers off, your investors off. So try to summarize things in a very shortest possible manner. That's one. Second, that I would say, to anyone who's doing a startup, is basically build a team, build a core team, in the sense that why your team is the one who can solve a problem better. So focus on that. Focus on getting the right set of people, as your co-founders, founders together. Third thing is the market. Ensure that the problem that you're trying to solve is a deep market. You're not trying to solve a problem, which is only applicable for, let's say, one state or one district. So ensure that the problem that you're trying to solve is very deep, in the sense that even if you're focusing on India market or the world market, it has to be should be a lot of customers out there to buy your product. So that's the third thing. Fourth thing, of course, ensure it's scalable. It should not be that you are tweaking your product for each and every customer out there. So try to ensure that it's a scalable product that you are trying to develop. It could be anything. It could be a tech solution. It could be your as simple as any other physical product. That's the fourth thing I would say. And the fifth is try to prove that you have an early traction for the product that you're developing, because that will give investors confidence. That will give yourself a lot of confidence, that whatever that you are believing in, whatever that you are working hard towards, there are people who's buying that. So I think there are 5 things which anyone who wants to do a startup should focus on. Try to learn to summarize, build a team, ensure there's a market out there, you're building a scalable product, and there's an early attraction to what you're doing.
Wow, that's really amazing, and it was so much of enlightenment from you guys. And I truly believe this will inspire a lot of students out there, and we will see many aspiring entrepreneurs after this. And this formally marks the end of our interview. We are so glad to have you, and thank you so much for making the CA community proud. We are really very happy, and it feels so much of proud when we see people from the CA community, along with someone who is from the tech background, come together and starting such a revolutionary project. And it's my pleasure, and it's my what should I say? It's my luck that I have been talking to you three on this panel. So thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule. This interview has been really inspiring.
Thank you very much, Jay, for inviting us. It's our pleasure and honor, to be here. And thanks a lot, thanks a lot. It was an amazing time that we had,
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank
Jay,
you.
for having us. You go ahead, Smith.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jay. I think same here. We are also really blessed and honored to provide this kind of guidance and be on such platforms, and we are also trying our best. I think all young minds out here, out there, I think they always should and try to make their best possible.